Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, peace be upon him, said, "I am amazed at the one who forgets death while he sees others dying. I am amazed at the one who is negligent, while death is swift in seeking him." How can you forget death while its signs are reminding you? Remembrance of death makes the means of this world seem trivial. One who frequently remembers death is saved from the deceptions of this world. Whoever frequently remembers death is satisfied with the little he possesses of this world. Remember the destroyer of pleasures and the spoiler of lustful desires and the caller towards separation. Is there no one who will wake from his slumber before the time of his death? Verily, behind you is a swift seeker in the form of death, so do not be negligent. When the bringer of the news of death comes frequently to you, he will announce your death to others. Blessed is one who anticipates his death and makes his actions sincere. If you were to see death and its approach, you would surely hate aspiration and its deception. Whoever is mindful of his death reduces his aspirations. The one who takes death into consideration values his time. Whoever regards his remaining lifetime to be fleeting, his hopes and aspirations become short. Let your ears hear the call of death before it calls you. Beware of death and be adequately prepared for it, you will be happy in your place of return. More severe than death is that which one seeks to be freed from through death. Verily, this death is a swift seeker, neither does the steadfast escape it, nor does the fleer frustrate it. Verily, you are on the run from the death whose fleer is not saved and must eventually meet it. One cannot remain secure from the onslaught of death, then not being prepared for it is incompetence. The one who does not prepare for death and take benefit of respite is negligent of the onslaught of death. Begin your journey, for you have been pushed forward, and prepare for death, for it has overshadowed you. I am amazed at the one who fears the ambush and still does not desist. The end of life is death. Death is the cause of loss. The end of death is loss. One who dies, passes away. Death is the gate of the hereafter. Death is the first justice of the hereafter. Verily, death is a visitor who is not loved, a killer who is not held accountable, and an invincible adversary. This world ends with annihilation. Matters are subservient to destiny until death enters the plan. Death strikes down. Death comes to every living thing. Verily one who walks on the face of the earth will surely end up inside it. In every soul there is death. Every seeker is sought. Every seeker other than Allah is sought. Every person will meet his death. Every person is seeking his aspirations while being sought by his death. How can one who is sought by death remain safe? For every soul there is death. For everything there is a passing away. For every living thing there is death. For every person there is a day that he shall not go beyond. For all souls there is death. One who lives, dies. Death does not desist from extermination. The appointed time of death is a shield. The appointed time of death is an impenetrable fortress. The truest thing is death. You are the harvests of the appointed terms and the targets of death. The appointed time of death is sufficient as a guard. At every moment there is death. There is a prescribed duration for every term. For everyone there is a driver who drives him towards his death. The passing of time draws one towards death. No shield is more protective than the appointed time of death. For every appointed time there is an arrival. There is no protector for one who is sought by Allah. If death could be bought, the affluent would have surely bought it. One whose death draws near to him cannot be saved by his efforts. Whoever has death given charge over him, is overrun and annihilated by it. One who is sought by death cannot be saved from it. Can the near ones repel from you, or can the wailing be of any benefit to you? Do not persist in that which is followed by sin. Far be it for death to lose the one whom it seeks, or for the one who flees it to get saved. Do not be deceived by security, for you will surely be taken from your sanctuary. There is no blame on the one who flees from his death. Death is a heedless watchman. Death cuts hopes short. Hopes bring death closer. Death exposes hope. Death is the reaper of hope. Death's cut off hopes. When death comes, hopes are exposed. When you reach the end of your hopes, then remember the suddenness of death. When death arrives, hopes are exposed. Sometimes death is beneath an aspiration. The reality of death exposes the lie of aspiration. It is when death comes that the failure of aspirations become apparent. When death strikes, hopes and aspirations are exposed. I wonder at the one who has no control over his death, how can he lengthen his hopes? The end of hope is death. Reduce your hopes, fear the suddenness of death and hasten towards performing good deeds. The arrival of death cuts off action and exposes hopes. The arrival of death expunges respite, brings the appointed time closer and dashes hope. The matter is near. The nearest thing is death. One who sees death with the eyes of his certitude, sees it nearby. How close is life to death? There is none whose arrival is nearer than death. There is no absent one that approaches quicker than death. Indeed, the absent one who is driven forward by the new night and day, is indeed worthy of a quick return. Verily, tomorrow is close to today. This day will pass with what is in it, and tomorrow will come following it. Verily, death has been tied to your forelocks whilst this world coils behind you. Death may be hastened. Every expected thing arrives. Every future is near. Every near one is close by. How near is the living one to the dead, because he will soon join him? How far is the dead one from the living by his separation from him? He who counts tomorrow from his lifetime has not given death its rightful place. Each breath of a person is a step closer to his death. Death is soothing. Sleep is a relief from pain, and its counterpart is death. The best gift for a believer is death. One who reaches the end of his hopes should expect the arrival of his death. In death there is comfort for the felicitous. In death there is delight or regret. What an excellent cure death is! How excellent a son-in-law the grave is! There is no soother like death. Nothing is truer than death.